Welcome back, Truth Seeker. August 16th, 2018. The big news story this morning: Aretha Franklin has passed away at age 76. This week, she's been a top headline. It began Monday, August 13th, when it was reported she was in hospice care, gravely ill. And in case you missed my work from Monday, August 13th, want to remind that this is another ritual: Murder by Numbers. Two songs you have to know: the song Murder by Numbers, which came out by the Police in 1983, and not arbitrarily, the word murder equals 83 in Gematria, and also the song Gematria, the killing name. Gematria is this practice of coding numbers into words, and Gematria is associated with the dates in the calendar year. And look at the name Aretha Franklin as well as Motor City. She was ill in Motor City, where she passed away. Motown, with the alphabetic order: Aretha Franklin and Motor City, sum to 138, much like the date 13/8, August 13th, when these headlines began. As I also noted, that day, Jay-Z and Beyonce had their concert in Detroit, and not coincidentally. When people are ritually murdered, it's always for somebody else, and no doubt Aretha, her sacrifice in part for Beyonce. An easy parallel to see. Two very famous singers, two very famous black women. Also, I pointed out the date of August 13th, 2018 was a date with numerology of 59. And Motown Records in Detroit came out in 59. In Gematria, the word Negro equals 59, the word slave 59, the word blues 59. Also in the bass ciphers, soul singer, Gematria 59, which Aretha is. So today, August 16th, she passes away, and I'm going to show you how today completes the riddle. Her last day alive was yesterday, the day leaving 138 days left in the year. Now she's passed August 16th at age 76, and here's why. Notice every headline refers to her as the Queen of Soul, as she was known for her singing career. And today's date, August 16th, 2018, it's a date with numerology of 62 and 26. In Gematria, in the most basic ciphers, Queen equals 62 and 26, as does Motown in the base ciphers. The Queen of Soul from Motown, where she passed away. So, fitting date. To see the greater relevance of these numbers in regards to the Queen, just look at Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth was born April 21st, 1926, emphasis on 26. Her reign began on February 6th, a date which can be written 2/6 or 6/2, like 26 and 62. Her coronation was June 2nd, a date which can also be written 2/6 or 6/2. Understand this code of letters and numbers. It is used by Masonic fraternities. The royal family is completely Masonic. Many things in this world that operate in high places are Masonic, including the world of entertainment. If you never listened to that song Murder by Numbers, it talks about how killing is the sport of the elite. So, we've established why the Queen of Soul has died on August 16th, 2018, a date with this numerology, but there's more to it. So let's continue on. August 16th is the 228th day of the year. And many times before, we've talked about how this number connects to death. Many people over the years have died 228 days from their birthday. In my book, Letters and Numbers, the chapter Murder by Numbers, I give countless examples of this pattern of death in 228. This is the Sumerian cipher. The way it works is you just multiply the alphabetic order times 6. So D, the fourth letter, is worth 24. 4 times 6 is 24. E, the fifth letter, 5 times 6 is 30. A, the first letter, 1 times 6 is 6. So on. Death, 228. And I've talked about this in the past. United States of America, with the alphabetic order, is 228. With the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, is 84. And with regards to Aretha Franklin, she was born on the 84th day of the year, March 25th, and she's now dead on the 228th day of the year. And this is an American icon, one of the most famous singers to ever be born in this nation. August 16th is also the day that leaves 137 days left in the year. That's the 33rd prime number. Aretha Franklin, a pop star. Pop star has gematria of 33, so does rock star. 137 is important for many other reasons. In Hebrew, the word Kabbalah has gematria of 137. This entire practice of letters and numbers and dates comes from Kabbalah. So this is a very Kabbalistic death, as most entertainers experience, Also noteworthy, from her birthday on the 84th day of the year, March 25th, to her death today is 144 days later. 144 is symbolic of time. Another pattern that I talk about in the chapter Murder by Numbers. In so many famous people's deaths, these same exact numbers come together. Time in the Jewish Gematria cipher, which is the cipher used in the film Gematria, which came out in 2014, time equals 144. It was her time to go on this date. Time's a killer, both summing to 144 in this cipher. Another number associated with time is 93. I want you to see that Aretha's full name, Aretha Louise Franklin, and Beyonce's full name, remember Beyonce was in Detroit the day Aretha got sick. Beyonce's full name, Beyonce Giselle Knowles, they both sum to 93. The sun, which is responsible for time and the way we keep it, is said to be 93 million miles away on average. The other planet associated with time is Saturn, the most distant to the eye, the sixth planet from the sun. And Saturn's the only planet with gematria of 93. Saturn is where the symbol of the Grim Reaper comes from, his scythe. That's the sickle of Saturn, the astrological symbol. Saturn's associated with time, death, judgment. See how this comes together? Aretha's got the 93 coded into her name. Dies by the numbers of time. 93 is also a number stamped all over Black history. Black History Month has gematria of 93. So does the name Malcolm X. So does Martin Luther King Jr. So does Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks. And a whole lot more. And don't forget Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. both died by the numbers at age 39, the reflection of 93. In Martin Luther King Jr.'s case, he died on April 4th, 4-4. If you write out April 4th as words, it sums to 144. If you write out 44, it sums to 144 as well, and both in the same cipher, just using the alphabetic order. MLK's assassin ended up dying on a date with 144 numerology in prison. And with regards to Malcolm X, he was assassinated on a date with 44 numerology. His assassin, Thomas Hagen, equals 44, and he got 44 years in prison. So this is what I mean. All throughout history, these same redundant patterns. Numbers of killing and death. Further, this date of Aretha Franklin's passing, August 16th, 2018, also a date with 42 numerology. 8 plus 16 plus 18, 42. Number stamped all over Black history, largely known through Jackie Robinson, who wore the number 42. Said to be the first black baseball player in white major league, but it's not actually true. If you look up the history books, the first black baseball player in white major league was Moses Walker in the 1800s, and Moses Walker played in exactly 42 games. Plus, the name Moses Walker sums to 42 in Gematria. Notice, Black History Month, February 42, History 42, Slavery 42, the N-word 42. Big deal in the news about Omarosa versus Trump right now, and Omarosa having a recording of Trump saying the N-word. As I covered, Omarosa was hired by the White House at age 42, on a date with 42 numerology, and she was fired on a date with 42 numerology, and not coincidentally. Your news every single day is contrived by this code, and I've been spelling that out very clearly for 5 years. Remember when Michael Brown was killed in Ferguson, Missouri? Ferguson equals 42. Missouri equals 42. When they put out the name of the cop who supposedly shot him, what was he wearing? He was wearing a white blues t-shirt with the number 42 right on it. Darren Wilson was the officer's name. And you can still look up that image. Just type in Darren Wilson and do an image search on the web. It's going to come up right away. The blue shirt with the number 42 right on it. Ferguson 42, Missouri 42, and this same cipher that the N-word sums to 42. The term brothers in this same cipher sums to 42. Think about it. Jackie 42, Boy 42, Bus 42, and a whole lot more. If you haven't picked up my book, Letters and Numbers, the 18th chapter is about the contrived race war, and I show all the ways the number 42 and 59 are stamped on black history. And just in case you missed my first video on Aretha, thought I put it up here. Maybe I didn't. Let me double check. I thought it was part of this post. I just want to show you guys this. Just in case you missed the first video, it's important to understand how tightly knit these numbers 42 and 59 are. And again, Aretha's story, August 13th, started with a date with 59 numerology, and now she's dead on a date with 42 numerology. But I just want you to see this right here. There's something very coded into the N-word. In the alphabetic order cipher with numerology, which is this dark blue one, N's the 14th letter, but instead of N being 14, it's 1 plus 4 is 5. So N is 5, I's the 9th letter, so I is 9, G's the 7th letter, G's the 7th, E's the 5th, R's the 18th, but you take the numerology at 18, which is 1 plus 8 is 9. So in the word, you get 5, 9, 5, 9. And you add it all up, it sums to 42. Shows you how well crafted this word is. And remember, the Civil War. Look at the Civil War. The Civil War began on the 102nd day of the year, April 12th in history, and it ended on May 9th. Notice slavery is also 42 in the base ciphers. Slave, 59. The war ended on 5/9. It began on the 102nd day of the year. Every war in the history of the United States has been scripted from the start date to the end date, showing that none of the wars were even necessary. They've all been used as a form of population control and agenda. Everything has been executed by this code. And you're probably noticing the 76 up here as well. We're going to get to that because that's the age Aretha just passed at. With regards to her dying at 76, a lot of things are special about this number. Symbol equals 76. Aretha Franklin, absolutely a symbol. Her biggest hit, Respect, came out in 67, the reflection of 76. And reflections of each other in numbers are equals in this study. Blood Sacrifice has gematria of 67 and 76. Remember, once upon a time, I predicted Prince would die after the death of Vanity and showed how it had everything to do with the number 67. He ended up dying a span of 67 days from Vanity, dying on Queen Elizabeth's birthday, April 21st. And 33 years earlier, Prince recorded the song I Would Die For You, and he recorded it, or he wrote the title with the number 4 and the letter U. So for you in Gematria, using the alphabetic order, use the 21st letter. I Would Die For You is I Would Die 421. And Prince died 421, 33 years after recording that song. 33 years. Again, Aretha dead today, the day leaving 137 days left in the year, the 33rd prime. Notice Soul Singer's also 67, as is Soul. And remember, Beyonce in town the day Aretha got sick by the numbers. Also with regards to 76, Negro, Slave, and Blues all have gematria of 76. The Million Man March on the day leaving 76 days left in the year and not arbitrarily. Check out the numbers of Luis Farrakhan. You might find another 76. Also interesting, Aretha Franklin and the Queen of Soul, perfect matching gematria. You know? Well named. Born in Memphis, dead in Detroit. Until next time, Truth Seeker. Encore, forgot one last important point. With regards to her dying on a date with 62 numerology, the word sacrifice also has gematria 62. Until next time.